this the prison. You have to like. Is
No,
be on
you
time.
ruined the opening, Mazzy.
We're
You
very-
ruined
we're very-
it.
whose channel are we on?
We're on my channel.
Rob.
So
the best
why is
channel.
Mike dictating to you what time you have to go
Because-
live?
I don't want to. I've mentioned this before, and I don't want to say anything. I share the StreamYard with the Jazz Bums. You can tell because in the corner of the screen it says Jazz Bums Inc.
So
I am an employee of Jazz
Let
Bums.
me get this straight. You don't want to over auction things, but you'll take someone else's. It's kind of like you probably have like Mike's Netflix.
No. Hold on, Mazzy.
You probably have Mike's.
Hold on.
Hulu
You don't know
account.
what our arrangement is.
You know
It's
his
on my
Hulu
channel.
account. How come I don't have this the Jazz Bums account?
I just bought a Apple TV yesterday. It is so much better than the crappy
Box. Apple TV.
the box.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
I have an Apple TV.
okay,
It's
guys, you bought
Yeah,
the wrong
it's-
device. You should have
it's
talked
awesome.
to me. You should have got a Fire Stick.
No.
Yes.
No.
You can hack
No.
a Fire Stick to watch anything
Well, we
you
don't
want
Oh,
anywhere.
You're talking
Sport,
about not want to fuck over people, yet you'll hack something to.
No, hold on, Mazzy.
ban.
Hold on, Mazzy. We
Oh,
had a
God.
private conversation that was not live, so let's not make it public.
Okay.
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 Thank
Well,
you.
Mazzy, you had a successful whatnot
Well,
auction.
let me,
today?
is anybody watching now? I can't see. How many people are watching?
Yeah, we have 3,000 people watching right now, Mazzy.
Okay. First of all, it was my first entree into whatnot, and I wanted to try it out. It was really interesting because, first of all, it's an app. We all know. A friend of mine, a couple of people, well, obviously Mike Ingroove, Dylan, and Amy Eskinoz. Eskinoz is local, and she actually used to work for the public library. Young woman in her mid-30s, left the library and now makes a living selling records. She does like 4 auctions a week. And I see her at all the shows and all the stores, and she works her butt off. There's an easiness to the app. Now, I still have to get it together because there's some things, some tweaks. I use an iPad and a laptop to have 2 devices. But what's nice about it, it's a quick timer thing. And if someone bids and you're going down in the 20-second mode, for instance, all of a sudden, if they bid higher, it starts at 20 seconds again. So it keeps going until the last person standing and no one else wants to bid. What's nice about it, the thing that I don't like, that Rob's great at and everything, but after the fact, the next day, you have to go through PayPal. You have to get everyone's names. If you have them imported in some kind of database, great. If not, you have to type in the names, weigh the fucking records, and do everything. This is pre-done for you. When you upload the record to a photograph, most records are 1 to 2 pounds for a shipment. But then if it's more, and so you automatically get downloading every label that's pre-posted. So you just put them in the box, put the label on, and drop them off at the post office.
Mazzy, I saw on your YouTube, was it streaming on your YouTube as well?
Yeah, you have to set that up. I actually had it streaming to my YouTube, but you couldn't bid on my YouTube. That's just for viewers to watch. But I had 175 to 240 people watching, and it helped because for the last week and a half, I did an announcement. I have enough people on my YouTube. I mean, you have to have an audience. Someone said it doesn't really work for people, whatnot, if you don't have an audience because they have to find you. Now, I have the benefit of that. Plus, Amy Eskinoz forwarded things to me. We did a joint video. We do a thing at the end of the video called a raid, where I basically, at the end of my hour, I can do it for unlimited time, but I did an hour. And so at 5 o'clock my time, I raided over to her channel, starting hers. So my entire audience went to her auction. Now they can stay or they can leave, but it's a way to kind of help another person. And it was actually pretty great. Plus people, I got like $12 of tips, which is weird. And I got, it was really successful. 24 records. That's all I sold. And it was a profitable thing, but I didn't, it's interesting. So it might be a good way to sell my collection, the duplicates of my collection at this point.
What titles did you sell?
Well, the one big jazz record was Grant Green, I Want to Hold Your Hand in 1970, 71, a Van Gelder stamp. I don't even know what the went for over $100, but I don't know what it was.
Wow, that's a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think it's like a $60 to $75 record, probably.
I just want to stop for 1 second. I accidentally banned someone, Rod, and I'm gonna try and fix you. So, Rod. Sorry.
I don't show my feet, Eddie. You were there. I saw you there. But it's hard to keep. It is hard to keep up, and I have to figure out a few things.
I think this is exciting for you because, like, I know that you have mentioned, like, if somebody were to give you like a crazy amount of money, you'd sell your collection. But this way, you can easily kind of sell it yourself and kind of get
A little at a time.
Yeah.
Right now, I haven't sold anything at
yourself and kind of get
little. I sold MoFi double 45 MoFi, kind of blue. Only because I got that when it came out before Chaz, before like I don't need 4 copies of that album anymore. I just don't.
What did that go for?
I don't even know. I have to look at it. It went for decent. It probably went for maybe less I paid. I don't know. How much was that to begin with? $100, $120?
No, I think that was like 60 or something.
Oh, the double 45?
I thought so. The box?
Well, anyway, I got it close to 100. I don't know.
Okay.
So thing is, it's sitting on my shelf.
That's a great price for it.
I did not sell
it's a great price for you to get for it.
I did not sell the butcher cover. I asked people if anyone's really interested because I wanted at least 500, but I think that's $1,000 record.
Oh. Wait, you sold what?
The butcher cover I did not sell, but I previewed it.
Okay.
And I didn't actually put it up. I want to wait till a future.
Yeah,
auction.
but here's the thing about previewing records. People will give you shit afterwards if you don't put that record out for auction.
But I asked, but nobody pre-bid on it. That's the thing.
Oh,
if someone had pre-bid on it, I'd have to sell it for if they went
the
over
version, the one you have, Mazzy. What have you valued that at?
It could be 750 to 1,200.
Okay. Is that a first state or it's a second?
Third state, it's appeal. First state, it's pays donor.
It's pristine, and it's stereo.
I think it's a mono, but it's got a rip at the bottom. The thing is, people don't know this, but Tower Records in the 70s, most of the stores had resealing, reshrink machines in the back room. They would returns, they'd reshrink them. So I knew a guy. My butcher cover is reshrinked just to kind of keep it pristine. It's in shrink wrap.
And it has an a pine tree air freshener in there.
It does. It has, someone wrote a little flower on the back, small. It's a nice
copy. Has a seam split? It has a seam
No, it doesn't have a seam split. It doesn't.
Oh, okay.
But it's my second copy, and I just figured, why not? At this point, do I need a second copy on the shelf?
Yeah. That's at least 500. It might be as much as 1,000. I mean, they have 5 or 6 of them.
I saw one the other day at a store here in LA for 500.
Yeah. Well, they have a half a dozen of them on the wall at the San Francisco Amoeba, and none of them are cheaper than 500, and some of them are as much as 1,000. So,
but I think people. We've talked about this before. Never be afraid to negotiate. The worst thing they can say is no. So.
Okay, Vinyl Piper, I get it. I posted 30 records. We sold 26. So 4 records didn't show, partly because of time. But I even asked if someone's interested. I didn't put it up for auction, the butcher cover. And I said, if anyone really is interested, I will put it up. And no one responded they would want it. And I would have. And
if anyone's watching now, reach out to Mazzy about the butcher cover.
If someone wants a butcher cover, reach out to me, and I'd rather sell it directly.
Here's a question for you, Mazzy.
I would like 700. I would like 800 to 1,000 for it.
You didn't set this up.
I think that's where it goes.
You didn't set this up, right, Mazzy?
Sorry,
you were invited. You didn't set up the whatnot. You were invited on to.
I set my whatnot.
No, so whatnot reached out to you.
Whatnot and a few other people reached out to me. Amy,
here's what I'm trying to get at.
Mike, and they reached out to me exactly.
Yeah, right. So did they give you a time? Are they only allowing you an hour because you're new?
No, I could do any time I want. But I didn't want to do more than an hour because it's new to me. And I was actually, if you saw some people saw the video. Amy came over here about a week and a half ago because she was buying some records, and I said, let's do I reached out to Whatnot. I said,
how did you meet this Amy person?
Oh, she's around the Pacific North. For 2 years, I run into her all the time at record shows, record stores. She always has her little cart. She's buying records. Yes, she's younger than me. She's a woman. Oh my God, people's heads explode. Some people thought she was my daughter because we have similar noses or something.
Wait,
Well, I mean,
wait.
I'll
my
give you a
head-
glimmer.
Oh.
I've been asked, not by Whatnot, I've never been contacted by them, but other prominent sellers have suggested to me you should do it. I don't have a problem maybe going on Whatnot and doing it. Where my kind of where I'm at is I don't know if I feel good about selling a record for way more than it goes for.
Well, you have to get over that shit. I mean,
No, I understand that, but I mean, there are knocks against me. I'd say almost all the records I sell in my auctions do not go for what they go for.
Well, I
They
think,
don't.
Rob, I think you can keep doing what
Wait,
you're
what do
doing.
you mean by that? Wait a minute. What do you mean by that? You mean you sell them? They sell at a higher price on the auction?
They sell lower for what they go for.
Really? Okay.
Not on Whatnot.
In my auctions.
Your auctions.
Yeah, easily. I mean, there could be a rare occasion where someone overpays for a record, but not really. It doesn't
Here's
really
the
happen.
thing. You can set the timing to 10 seconds, 20 seconds, 30 seconds a minute. And what happens is, like, Rob bids on my butcher cover and he bids $500. And so there's 20 seconds to go. If no one bids in the 20 seconds, he gets it. If someone bids in 20 seconds, all of a sudden the 20 seconds starts over again. So it perpetuates. And so you see,
I mean, I'll give you a good for instance, okay?
You don't have that stupid timeout and all that in sync thing.
I feel, listen, don't feel sorry for me. This is not auctioning records.
No.
Auctioning records does not support me. It is intended to allow me to go out and buy records. That's what the money is used for. I just keep replenishing with records. I love shopping and digging for records. I did find this at quite an amazing price. And I felt, I don't know, this box, it's the first Blue Note. What is it called? The Blue Notes
review
box. Yeah, this was the first one. This came out in 2017. It currently goes for between $400 and $800, higher than $400. And there is issues. There's wear on the box, but some of the records in here are sealed and whatever. And someone reached out to me privately, and it's a good deal for both of us, I feel. But I know if I put this on the Whatnot, it could go for $800 probably, right? I would think it would. Easy.
I can schedule any time in the countdown. It doesn't go less each time. Whatever you have it pre-scheduled for after the first time, like let's say I have 20 seconds, it's always 20 seconds or always 10 seconds after someone bids. That's repetitive.
Hey, I'm going to show some records I picked up today because Mike, but we'll let Mazzy finish.
Yeah, the sudden death. See, again, I'm a novice. I'm new to it. It's like I'm letting the training wheels off. It was a good experience, but there's a few things I fucked up or I didn't understand because I had to use my iPad and I wanted to use my laptop to do the actual next record. And at one point, if you watch the beginning, it said next record. I wasn't prepared. I don't know if there's a certain order I have to load them so I can do next record so I can have them stacked in a pile. So I have to figure that out. I can ask Amy or Mike or whoever on that. But I just like it because, again, the day after, I always dreaded about typing everyone's fucking name in, getting them to pay, stacking the records to make sure I get a printout that, Mike bought these 3 records. So I pull those 3 records, stick in the box, slap the label on. How that it makes it, and they take 8%. I think there's another little charge. Again,
that's what I think Discogs is 8%, and then eBay I think is 13%.
But you have to do all that.
Discogs is, I think Discogs is like 9.5%.
Yeah, so the whole shipping and everything is added onto the buyer, the price, and you do like it's a 2-pound record or a 1-pound record, and one record is this X amount.
I mean,
we'll see.
It sounds, Mazzy, like you really like this a lot more than because you've done a number of auctions on YouTube too.
Well,
right?
It's not as social, and I mean it can be. I can sit there for 20 minutes and talk about record if I really want to.
I think you need to, if you really want to do it right, it seems like you should have someone there with you to help you.
Yeah, that would be fun. I would do that next time. I don't know. I can't have you unless you're in person with me. I can't have you like.
No, you need someone physically with you.
Yeah. Well, there's always Coffee Dave and the archivist.
You need
and
someone who's not
Dr.
inebriated.
Robert. Well, you live in Portland. If you're here, absolutely. You're
Yeah,
always
I know.
invited.
I know.
You're always
I'd love
invited,
to
Jack.
do it again with you. I'd love to do it again with you.
Yeah.
You know that.
Oh,
Yeah.
I would love that because people do like the repartee and these kind of things. And I was surprised for a first auction how many people were there, really, because I wasn't
But
sure.
I'll be honest with you, Mazzy. I've set up my situation where people that buy from me are already in an address book. It literally, and I bought that infrared printer thing. I mean, not the infrared printer. I bought the what do you call it? Thermal printer, and it prints the labels quick, and I just slap it on.
Right.
Yeah.
It takes me
Well,
less
you
than
got
5
it.
minutes.
But you got to import it in and weigh it and everything.
Mazzy,
No, I have a
Mazzy,
scale.
do you think that you got a good viewership because you were able to promote it and people know who you are?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. So
Yeah.
I'm
Now,
just
there are
thinking-
people that follow the YouTube thing. Like if you are on whatnot, I'm learning because I've been watching a few vinyl things. If I click the vinyl category, you could do Beanie Babies, I could do magazines, I can do clothes. It's not just vinyl. So if I click the vinyl thing, it'll show up who's live now. So I'm sure there are people also that just went on vinyl and who's live, and I was live here. But again, I've been watching the last week and a half. I've been promoting this, and I started getting about 150 followers there. And I had more people watching than almost all the other vinyl auctions I saw today. But it definitely attributes to my YouTube channel, the crossover, and streaming it there, and the link there probably helped too, I guess. I don't know.
I'll make a couple observations. So, first of all, I'd say I can tell you are just pumped about how it went, which is great. And
Could have been those 4 lines of coke I did before this show.
Well,
I
okay,
know do
well-
drugs. Just kidding, Rob.
Well, no, Mazzy will be able to afford his prescription medication this month.
It was probably espresso, maybe. I don't know, but
No, no alcohol during it. I didn't drink. I just had water.
Well, whatever. I can just tell how much you enjoyed it. But the second thing I'd say is, don't do Beanie Babies. No.
I'm not. I'm just using it as
Dr. Robert. That would have been a funny joke 15 years ago.
Dr. Robert. Apparently, the whatnot thing started in San Francisco 4 years ago from these people selling. What's the big head things called?
Big heads.
Those dolls with the big heads.
Brats?
The figurines with the big heads.
Bratz dolls?
No, they're up northern.
There's the store across from
the
Funko Pops.
Funko
Pops.
Yeah.
They started selling Funko Pops. That's how it all.
Right.
I don't know.
You thought you were funny, Dr. Robert.
Well, no, but I do want to say my Beanie Baby collection is so special to me.
Well, are you looking at it right now? Because you're not looking at us, Dr. Robert.
Oh, I got you guys.
All I'm
You're not, and by the way, you don't look like Beanie Babies.
I don't know what that means.
I don't know that that's a good thing, but you don't look like Beanie Babies.
Are you about to show some Beanie Babies?
I got this new Beanie Baby and I want to show you guys. Actually, okay, Mazzy, check this out. So this is an old 10-inch Miles Davis on Prestige, okay?
Oh, man.
On the back here, it has a little price stamp from Jack's Drum Shop in Boston, right? So I look it up. Jack's Drum Shop, it left Boston, but it's still operating. It's like the oldest drum shop in the country or something like that.
Where is it now?
It's outside of Boston. So, but anyway, I just thought that was kind of cool. But this
I don't think Jack's no longer with us. So
this is the first. No, I don't.
Drummed his last beat.
But yeah, there it is. Right there we go.
Yeah,
I understand. Jack took all his drum
like
money and bought Beanie Babies.
That looks like it's in really nice shape. Is the cover in?
It's in the record itself is in pristine shape. It's the first time that Bag's Groove was pressed. And I A-B'd it today, and this one, it's just the vinyl on here just sounds quieter, and I think it just sounds better. Anyway, so I was listening to that earlier, and then
that's beautiful.
I was listening to this, which I feel like is a neglected. I feel like people neglect the Horace Silvers, but this is an early one with Hank Mobley on it in like tip top early Hank Mobley primo soloing form. And his records, those early Blue Notes, are some of the most expensive. But he's on this, playing Horace Silver material, but the solos are just as good. And I feel like this is a good way to get Hank Mobley in your collection.
I believe I have the Music Matters 45. I believe that might still be available on the Music Matters website.
And this is a first pressing, so it has the New York 23 address. So you see how the address on the inner perimeter goes long. So this is the address after Lexington, but it's the first pressing for this given the year. So anyway, just wanted to show stuff.
Do I want to shame you from what I picked up today?
Okay.
All right.
Well, I didn't pick these up. These are
in the mail.
I've had these.
Okay. Well, we can go back to probably main of the stream. We were expecting other people to join us, so I don't know what happened to them.
Louis, if you're watching, Louis,
Louis,
big talker, come on up, get your butt up here, Louis.
Love to have you up, Louis.
So Jazz Bum Mike brought this up a long time ago. So I picked up this Jazz by G, Matthew G, trombone player. The original on Riverside. This is not.
Holy
goes for some money, goes for some dough. But this is hey, Joey, what's going on? So this is a Wave jazz classic. So usually the Wave jazz classic, if it's in the shrink, has a hype sticker on it. It comes with this little Wave jazz classic. So Wave was a chain of stores in Japan, no longer existing, that in the early 90s licensed titles from Fantasy, I guess, at the time, and they put out their own versions of OJC. And I don't think there's overlapping. I think all the titles they put out were not put out as OJCs, include like this. This is not, a lot of the titles were not normal titles you would know of. And the one I have is, what's the white, the mic you got that? I think you got original.
What?
It's a white dude on the cover who plays mostly with like the rhythm section, I think. I forget his name. But this sounds great. I claimed and was listening to it earlier. So nice pickup.
Gil Malay?
No, he's a trumpet player. He only kind of put out, he had like Chet Baker good looks. I don't think he really did much.
Oh, yeah. That's the Jazzland. It was a Jazzland.
Yeah, Jazzland. So I have the Wave version of it. And the Wave, I watched the guy's video. I thought they were made here and sent over. Apparently, they were all done in Japan.
This one.
So
this one, right?
Yeah, that's it. So that I have the Wave version of it.
Don Sleet is his name.
Yeah, and that's a fantastic album. Don Sleet.
It's really.
Yes.
How did you clean that, Waxed?
With an ultrasonic cleaner, the Humming Guru.
Not
an audio. I didn't pour water over it and vacuum it off.
I've heard of it.
Okay, I found this record, Last Exit, Iron Path. And if you don't know Last Exit, the members are Sonny Schrock on guitar, Peter Brotzman, Bill Laswell, and Ronald Shannon Jackson.
Love Bill.
Really?
They're free jazz guys.
Yeah.
But this is kind of like metal. It's like jazz metal. So it's good.
That's a good description. I've got some of their stuff. They have a few other albums too, right?
Right. No, and this is probably not one of the more expensive ones. This is an OG US on Virgin. It came out on Virgin. I think you can buy a reissue that for some reason is on ESP disc. The current version of ESP disc. Okay. I'm gonna save the kick-ass shit I found today. I found both these. I don't if people don't know the Human Arts Ensemble, it's made up of guys. What are the St. Louis guys? It's slipping my mind, Mike.
St.
Cardinals. The Cardinals?
I think these are it's the other. I think these are the St. Louis guys. So it's Charles Bobo Shaw, Joseph Bowie, Oliver Lake, James Marshall, J.D. Perron, Baca E. Carroll, all those guys. They're the St. Louis version. They're of.
Is it
the
AACM? AACM? The AACM?
There's another group. I forget off the top of my head, but
Okay.
this
Well,
is good stuff. And actually, on this one, Lester Bowie's on here too.
yeah.
On that one. So I found both those. This is cool. I have an original of this, but I picked up the Japanese. This is on Regent, Art Pepper, and Sunny Red. So one side is Art Pepper, and the other side is Sunny Red.
Wow.
And here's the lineups on the album.
Hey, Jeff, it was a reissue. What? It's not a $1 Deodato record. Give me a break.
All right, calm down, Jeff. Jeffy likes to poke the bear.
Yeah, you know, people will pay what they feel comfortable with.
Okay. Fight with him in comments, Mazzy. This is Japanese, obviously, with the OP. Okay. I've been always meaning to pick this up. I finally found it cheap. The Magic of Tad Dameron.
Who's on it with him?
Bill, this is an OJC. Bill Evans, Johnny Griffin, Joe Wilder, Clark Terry, Philly Joe Jones is on here. But I think he died young. He was like a kind of a peer of Gil Evans, I think.
Rob, I want to say this to you, interrupt you, because this is a compliment to you and to me, and I'm complimenting myself.
Don't group it together.
What we've learned about doing our auctions on YouTube, aside from the other ones, we actually talk about the music.
Well, I don't know if people think I talk about the music.
Well, you do. I mean, more than most, but I do. I tell these long stories.
Hold on, I'm going to talk about the music. That Tad Dameron. So Tad Dameron was a band leader.
Yes.
He Fats Navarro was in his band. He was trumpet player in his band. And, during that bebop era, the best, some of the best guys played in his band. And then after they moved on, Clifford Brown and Philly Joe Jones came in his band, and Philly Joe Jones is on that record. Obviously, Clifford Brown,
Leo Wright's on here, Ernie Royal.
But Tad Dameron is a unsung hero for sure.
Yeah, but
he's hugely influential.
Okay, here's the killer stuff coming in that I found today. I found a copy of John Coltrane Infinity. This was an album that was released posthumously, but what had happened is Alice took recordings of him and then wrote orchestrations over it. So it's kind of John Coltrane and then spiritual jazz of Alice Coltrane on top of it. I like it. Some people don't like this album. I like it. So
that's finally one I have.
You do have it?
Yeah,
I have a white label. I have a white label promo of it.
Oh my god!
I used a quote from Rob. Rob, I owe you because
you
I
call
said
people morons and the whatnot.
I did, but I said this is the one you want.
Wait.
Well, okay. This is the one you want right here. So I'm not 100% sure on this because I didn't refer to Wikipedia, but is this the first Anthony Braxton record?
Oh my god!
No. I think the first Anthony Braxton record is Four Altos. I think this
is not far behind. So
it's on Delmark. I think that's the first one.
Okay, so this one has I forget what is currently going by, but it's Leo Smith on trumpet. It has Leroy Jenkins on violin, Steve McCall on drums, and Anthony Braxton. So this is an OG French pressing, the original. So
yeah, cool.
Jim and I saw last
stuff.
year. Okay, next is Alice Coltrane. This is a 2009 reissue.
Is that the one you want?
No, it's not. The original, which I have, is pretty pricey.
Okay,
I think it's easily over $100 record. I don't know. Prices are falling all the time, but this is. I mean, this one. There, I think one for sale on Discogs for $75. So I'll probably put it in the next auction. I'll see. Yeah,
I was streaming her Universal. I was streaming her Universal Consciousness album.
Yeah,
it's pretty good.
Yeah,
I love that record. That record.
You like this record?
I always go tap, tap.
Yeah, this one I'm going to sell. It's probably a
I don't
VG
know.
copy,
What
but
year?
even
What is
VG,
that?
even VG copies of this go for a little bit of dough.
Yeah, you know, I like the reissue. I know some people didn't, but I thought the reissue has a nice dynamic thing.
It's good, but I found an original, and it's different.
Is that original?
This is this. I haven't dated this.
That's so phallic too. Look at that cover.
But I think it came. Here it is. I think it came out as this.
It totally is.
It came out on this label.
It's a penis vagina cover.
Now that you mention it,
You're
Look
foul.
for the cover.
You have a foul mouth, Mazzy. This is the last one I'm going to show.
Masters and Johnson would not agree that I have a foul mouth. Okay.
Okay, and then Alice Coltrane with Strings, World Galaxy.
Nice.
Yes.
I have that one too.
Yeah, I already have it, so I found another copy. So,
Man,
all right, that's what I found today.
You guys are just so much. You and Mike are so much well versed in jazz than I am. I have to say.
I listen. People think I've been. This is the ridiculousness. I am an old person. I've listened to music my whole life, but the last 4 years is when I got into jazz. I don't even come close to knowing everything. So please don't look at me as some sort of expert. I'm an enthusiastic fan of jazz.
All I can say is you guys both know. I mean, I love jazz and I collect jazz, but I'm just, you guys are ahead of me. So
I agree, Robert. I've been buying jazz records for 50 years, and those guys in 5-6 years, whatever, know more of the details than I know. Definitely.
Yeah. I mean, I'm good with that. It's not a
competition, Doc.
It isn't. I'm admiring.
Hold on, Dr. Rob. Here's one thing where you can give me credit. I know I'm good on camera. I know how to look straight, like I'm looking at people. I don't look off to the side like I'm ready to ring a bell for my butler.
Where's your tracksuit, Rob?
The weather is getting warmer in Los Angeles.
Did you go out and protest
I want to be
today?
sweating my balls off.
Okay.
So, can I give an update on the week coming up?
It depends what you're talking about, but yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, so there are some great shows coming up in Portland. I'm going to go tomorrow night to see Kraftwerk.
Wow. Where are they playing in Portland?
I've got to look. I should know that, but I don't know off the top of my head. But I'm going.
But aren't they all dead? Aren't they all dead?
No,
One is dead.
Is it the Keller Auditorium?
It's not at Keller. Maybe it is, but it might be. It might be. I shouldn't say it's
I'm looking at the ticket.
Not, but it might be.
Well, I was thinking Schnitzer when you said Schnitzer is the bigger, but Keller.
Oh, wait, hold on. Dr. Robert, are you sure it's the real Kraftwerk and not like a cover band?
Can I please start over? So I'm going to go see Kraftwerk tomorrow.
It's at Keller Auditorium.
Thank you.
Wow,
God
those
bless
tickets
you.
are cheaper when they played LA.
There are still tickets. Can I just talk? So I'm taking my 8 or 10 Kraftwerk records. It's Ralph and Florian, but one of them.
Are you going to get a robot to sign them?
I'm going to try to get one of the two originators to
Dr.
sign
Robert's going to start World War III.
I got a question.
No, I can't talk. I got
a question for Joey.
Wait a minute.
Joey Callio is a musician here. I know you're not a Kraftwerk level. No offense.
I want to hear from Joey. I want to hear Joey's take on this. If
someone came in with 12 records, would you sign all 12?
You have no idea how many times I've signed more than 12.
Okay,
no problem. I sign everything that people bring. I stay to the last person. I stay extra. Never have a problem with that. I take a million pictures, whatever they want. I sign shoes, pants, tops, boobs, bras, faces, arms. People do tattoos of the things I draw on them. It's not a problem.
Joey, how do you feel about signing 10 Kraftwerk records?
That that could be. I like craft work. Don't
I
say
do
no.
too. I do too. It's not anything personal about craft work.
No,
Okay.
I like that was like a high school, thing. All the hipsters like craft work. So I hung out with the hipsters.
Okay, good man. Okay,
So thank Joey, thank you. And here's the thing: I have never perceived it as that much of a, an imposition.
Burden.
And
Imposition.
well, imposition, and honestly, I mean, I honestly think it conveys how much of a fan I am, and I love it even more if I get a chance to talk to these people, which doesn't always happen. But
okay, Rob, Dr. Rob, Bob,
thank you. Call me Bob. You can call me
kann ich
Bob.
Ihnen helfen?
Mhm.
Was ist das? Geschlafen, was ist das?
Dr. Robert, the worst thing they can say is no, right?
Well,
That's
and-
the worst
and-
thing they can do.
I have already said I don't always get the signatures I'm looking for, but so Kraftwerk tomorrow, and then on Tuesday, Bob Mold, the guitarist and singer for Husker Du,
Yeah.
has got a show, and I'm going to
His
go to
wrist
that.
is insured with Lloyd's of London, Dr. Robert.
Well, here's the funny thing. So I looked online. He sticks around and signs merch, and
He's that level. He's that level of artist that would.
Dr. Robert, do you have the records next to you? Can you show them?
Well, here, yeah. So I do. So here, and the third band is Friday night. X, and I actually saw X. I don't know if I'm showing this well.
Do you bring special markers, like silver markers and stuff?
I do.
Yeah, you should.
So I do.
Those are great. Every X record is great.
No,
I agree.
he brings a special pen that when they hold it, a little thing comes out of the pen and injects
Nice.
the solution.
No.
X is my favorite LA punk band because they have a little.
They are so good. I saw them, and here's the thing, and here's how it doesn't always work out. But I saw them about a year ago. They were fantastic, and I hung out before and after, and I kind of never was in the right place to get my records in their hands, and I didn't get any signatures. So I'm going to try again this Friday. So 3 concerts this week: Bob Mold of Husker Du, Kraftwerk tomorrow, and Friday night I'm going to see X.
Where's
Are
X?
you going by yourself? Are you going by yourself to each show?
No, not every show.
Where's X playing?
X is playing at the McMinimans downtown theater. Golly,
That's a good, solid week of music. I admire you for that.
It's great shows. It's great.
I
shows.
would see every band if they were here, if I could.
I mean, they're great bands, and Bob Mould. I hadn't even really. I just found out about his show a couple of days ago. So I don't have any tickets to any of these yet, but I know I can get tickets.
Oh, well, that's.
I played a show with X once, a K-Rock Christmas show. They're very nice. I will say though, now that you mention it,
Maxine's a fucking MAGA Trumpy.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, she is.
I want to hear Joey's story.
She's been crazy for a while, but the rest of it,
MAGA?
That was before she went MAGA. By the way, that was like we're talking. It was the Christmas show from '92 into '93. So it was a while ago. But I will say, now that you mention it, my hands do fucking hurt. I mean, and I have, I always thought it was from playing too much guitar and, blah, 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 bass and shit. But now this could be another little, link to the problem.
Look who signed my copy.
That hurts my hands just as you pull that up.
That's so funny, Joey. So I'm going to show my hands. I don't know. My hands are full of arthritis. You're
a surgeon, of course.
Do you get them? I heard a story that the famous actor, in like Flynn. Who's that? James Coburn.
James Coburn.
But James Coburn, if you watch his later movies, his hands are very deformed from arthritis.
Well,
but
it doesn't always hurt.
He used to get deep tissue massages that seem to help us.
Your hands, they don't hurt. I mean, I have arthritis nuggets in my hand. That's what they
I bet you
actually call it.
do.
And I gotta tell you right now, they hurt. I've had PRP twice and it didn't help.
What's
Oh, man.
PRP?
It's where the Michael Jackson thing where they suck out your blood and they spin it and they shoot it back in.
Oh, I don't even know what that is. Okay.
Oh, that's like a vampire thing.
Totally.
If you look at Keith Richards' hands, his hands are much worse than mine. But I will say, here's the thing: sometimes arthritis, even though it's there, doesn't hurt. And my hands, I'm okay. I'm okay. So I don't know, Joey, but you're giving me food for thought, and I'm receptive, and I'll try to be thoughtful.
I
Well,
sign everything. I don't think twice. Whatever it is, believe me, I take every picture. I sign everything. People pay. We have a VIP thing where people can hang out with us. I let them play. I let them fucking play my instrument. It's like,
Whoa, that's personal.
Wow.
it is.
Joey, you got a record coming out for Record Store Day, right?
Well, I did, but
you just showed it. I'm sorry.
yes, I do. I do.
Apparently, my
Let's
copy
do it.
of it is being enjoyed by somebody.
Rob, I swear to God, this is driving me crazy because you're the only person so far, and it's like you're in LA. It's not like you're out in New England, some far reaching.
Joey, how did you produce? How did you get that done?
You mean the Record Store Day version of it?
Yeah.
So essentially, my wife did it. I mean, truth be told, so I met my wife at Geffen Records. I worked at Geffen during that era. She was an executive. She was like the number 2 person in LA for international. And the international department, for people who don't know, is basically an entire record company. You do everything. It's not like an American, the American version of Geffen Records. There's promotions, there's, blah, 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 art department. It's all separated. The international department, you got to do it all. And she would tour with Nirvana, Guns N' Roses, everybody, Cher. She was doing it, and so her connections have been stacking up. When we moved from LA after Geffen went out of business, we moved to LA 25 years ago, and she worked at the music department at Microsoft. Believe it or not, they had a music department. I know that seems insane, but and she worked for Fender. So she's on the business side. I mean, there is a wall. I was going to say a fence, but it's not a fence. It's a wall between the musician side and the business side. It is two halves of the brain. But about 2 years ago, she started. Universal owns everything, if you didn't know, and they own everything that I've ever done that was on IRS and MCA records. She just started kind of asking, and one thing led to another, and it got close. And then I think the thing that just kind of broke through was this Steve Hoffman. He did this article years ago. The First Daughter record is kind of considered an audio file, or the CD is an audiophile CD. People tune stereos with it, yada yada yada. I've actually walked in to a place, I think it was in Columbus, Ohio, where they had it like their Wilson speaker setup had that Dada record in the CD player for you to check out their speakers. So it's like that kind of thing, and he knew it, and he talked about it on the forums. Christina brought that, and that seemed to be, after that, things started happening. Universal, they license out stuff to smaller labels for RSD. Real Gone Music is one of those labels. The guy over there is a Dada fan, and it just caught fire. And she called me. This is a good story. Last summer, I was helping Louis Golden on a track. I had a guy that I knew. Honestly, I wanted him to have this guy mix the whole record, but he just did one record. He recorded part of the song there, and he had this guy. I think he had the guy mix it. And while we were there, I was only there for one day. Christina gives me a call, my wife, and she's crying on the phone. I mean, heavily, just sobbing. I'm all okay. I have 2 kids, so that's never a good thing. But this time it was. She's crying and she goes, I just got off the phone. They're gonna do puzzle for record store day. And I'm all, really? And so I tell Louis, because he's right there, and it was a very exciting moment.
But your
And
tour last year really helped too. You had like
no,
35 cities.
100%. That was the most successful tour, basically one of the most successful tours Dada's ever done, honestly.
Wow.
Except for back in the old days when we were on every radio station and MTV, yada yada yada. The 90s were good to Dada, but in this century, that was probably the best one we had, just as far as like money and sellouts and stuff like that. Not that I saw any of the money. I never do. I put it back into the machine, right? And that way I can make more records. It was, we finally hit a tipping point after 2 years. The good thing, and I will say this about Real Gone Music and Universal, they let me kind of have my way. Like I explained, hi-fi. Let's not just slap this thing together. Let's get someone who's going to do this has never been mastered for vinyl. So they got a guy. I didn't know who it was at first. I mean, I can't even remember his name right now. I feel bad. But I looked up his resume and was like, okay, cool. This guy's real. And he did a fantastic job mastering it. First I heard the digital cut, right, as they say, because this thing was cut on a I have it written. It's a 32 track digital tape machine. This is the same machine that Michael Jackson was using at the time for Beat It and all that stuff.
How many did you record to? What did you originally
How many
record?
tracks of the 32? Is that what you're asking?
Yeah, for the original record.
I mean, we use them all because we can. It was very, but what that does is it just allows you. It gives you choices in the mix. Is really all that does. You don't mix all of them in. You have choices. You might have 2 solos ready to go.
Right.
You know what I mean? And stuff like that. So that's pretty much how that happened. And then they sent me the test pressing, and I was really happy. I mean, I was kind of holding my breath, but it's like the CD came out during the CD war eras, basically the volume era, where everyone wanted a louder copy. They wanted it to be louder than the other guy's CD. And that was perceived as being a good thing. But what that does is that you have to squish it to do that. So you lose a lot of the dynamics, even though this is a very dynamic record. Well, now it's really dynamic. I mean, it is extremely dynamic. You can crank this thing up and it just gets better sounding. So I'm very happy.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah,
it does sound awesome.
And fuck me, man. Your copy, Rob, is driving me crazy that it's just, I don't know what is up.
I think it's my neighbor who steals everything. I think he's enjoying it right now. No, it never came.
It probably never came, right? Yeah, it was a challenge. Let's put it that way.
Here's a tip to everyone.
I think it's in a Portland used record store right now.
If you get packages, sign up to the post office, UPS, all of them. And when someone sends you something on one of those services, you instantly get a notification. So if I go into if he's sending it UPS, or I didn't look at FedEx, but I get notifications once someone puts a label on something.
It's UPS.
Joey,
so you haven't gotten anything though, right? Any notification?
No notification.
Joey, the engineer of that puzzle session was Stephen Marcuson.
That's the original.
No.
That's the original.
He mastered the original.
He mastered the CD.
Yeah, he didn't master this session. It's on the here. Where's my record? I have it right here.
It's too. I know we were talking about. Joey and I recorded a video that'll be out Monday, and it's too hard to read. Like for us.
The old guys, yeah. It's Mike Milchner. Mike Milchner did a great job.
Who cut the lacquer?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mike Milchner did it.
Cool.
Look how I used to look. Look at that guy. He's kind of a weird guy. Anyways.
Cool.
It's on 2 LPs, 33. It's got 4 extra tracks.
Hey,
That's
hey,
great, man. That's gonna sound awesome.
This guy
does-
right here, that guy would say no to Dr. Robert. I'm not signing a thing.
Yeah, that's true.
Nobody, if
That's
they can
really
actually
cool.
talk to me, nobody's going to say no.
That's
I,
really
this has been I mean, honestly, I'm so lucky to do what I do for a living, and I was heavily involved in art. I do paint and stuff like that. I don't do it as much now, hardly at all. But at the time, that's where the Dada thing happened. I was a LA County Museum member. I saw the exhibition of German Expressionism, 1915 to 1925, and Dadaism came out of that. And it was just like a thing. It's like Dada.
You're previewing our video, Joey.
cool.
Yeah, but I said that. I
It's
said
his
that.
story, man. He can tell it whenever he wants.
Of course,
Yeah.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Plus, all the people who watch your video overpay for records on Whatnot.
Oh my goodness!
All right, guys, I do have to run. It was fun catching up with all of you.
All
I'll
right.
talk to
I
you
was
later.
going to show all my records, but bye.
Thanks for coming.
Whoa.
Yeah,
You want-
Mike,
oh,
good to see
Chris-
you, man.
Chris picked up a bunch of records. Why don't you show them right now?
Yeah,
Okay.
Chris, we got to give Chris a moment.
All right. I got this one. This is the last one I picked up, Rob. Jimmy
So is that
Lyons
a-
on Hat Hut.
When did that come out? Because he passed
This
away.
came out in 1979, so it's
Yeah.
3 LPs.
Oh,
Jimmy
really?
Lyons- yeah, it's huge. So Jimmy Lyons, and there you can see the back. But it sounds like it was recorded in a loft because it was recorded in this place called the Collective for Living Cinema, New York. So whatever the hell that is. But anyway, it's him, Karen Borka, who's a big time free jazz player. She's doing all kinds of shit. She plays bassoon. Hayes Burnett on bass. Bernard Fennell on cello, and then Roger Blank on drums. So I don't know any of these people except for Jimmy
Yeah,
Lyons. but-
because he mainly played with Cecil Taylor. So
yeah. She was. I looked her up. She was like Cecil Taylor's assistant when he was like doing education stuff in the early 70s, and then she was Jimmy Lyons' assistant, and then they got married. So, dun dun dun.
yeah, I have this one, which is probably I think his like more popular solo album, is on BYG.
Well, good for you and your more popular album.
No, I don't know. Look, he didn't do a lot of solo albums, so
That one's not solo, but yeah, no, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Now these,
he led records.
a couple of these I don't know what they are, but most of them I did. And I've got a bunch of these records. I put some of this shit for your auction, honestly, Rob. So I usually skip like the $3 bins and the $5 bins whenever I go to record shows. I'm just gonna walk by them, and I didn't today, and I'm glad I didn't because I found a pile of shit this lady had. She's like, they're $3, record unless you buy 5, and they're $2 each. So I got this whole pack.
What was the record show? What was the show?
Oh, it was a Grapevine record show in Grapevine, Texas.
Okay. The town with a kabillion mega churches.
Yeah, absolutely. So this is the first one. It's Joanne Brackeen, which is awesome.
Excellent record. It's on Bob James's Tappan Zee label.
Yeah, look at this. This is some of these are probably upgrades actually, but this one is a
It's Eddie Gomez and
hang on.
Zygmunt. Who's the drummer?
White
It's
label
the
promo, bro.
Yeah, I think they only released a white label promo of that record.
That might be true. Jack DeJohnette.
Yeah, Jack
Eddie
DeJohnette,
Gomez.
Eddie Gomez. It's good. Kind of has a Bill Evans vibe to it. That
Yeah,
particular
totally.
album.
Then this one.
That is her best album by far.
Yeah, this one's awesome because it's got Joe Henderson on it.
Joe Henderson. Yeah.
Eddie Gomez, Jack DeJohnette, and Joe Henderson. So that was cool. What's this? I don't even know what this is, but it's got Jackie Byard in it, so I bought it.
Oh, who else is on it?
Let's see. A bunch of people I never heard of.
Okay.
Yeah. Here, look. I mean, I think it's a big band. It's like a ton of,
Is that on Black Saint or Soul Note?
it's on Soul Note. So a $2 Soul Note, why not? Then I got this Billy Pierce because I've kind of been getting into him lately, so that's kind of cool. It's got Terrence Blanchard, Ira Coleman, Mulgrew Miller, Anthony Reedus. So this would have been probably
80s?
Yeah, 88. Yeah, it's on Sunnyside.
Yeah, I don't know about that. I have to look into that Sunnyside label.
Yeah, I don't know anything about it either.
Yeah, I think it's a French label, but
it's got this landmark Jimmy Heath, which is cool.
yeah.
This one's got him and Tommy Flanagan, Tony Perrone on guitar, Rufus Reed on bass, Al Foster on drums. So it's like sax, piano, guitar, quintet. That'll be interesting. What is this? I don't even know what this is, but it looked cool, so I bought it.
Okay, so those Norman Connors records, they're pretty soul, 70s soul, disco, but he does cover on those records. He covers, because Billy told me this. He covers an old, like a good jazz song. So what's the one on that one? Sometimes like Pharaoh Sanders or
Maiden Voyage is on here.
Yeah, there you go. So he always covers like
you just wanted an album by an artist named Norman. You wanted it, Norman.
Well, that's such a jazz. That's such a disco cover, though, coming out of a.
Those records are very.
70s. Is that late 70s, early 80s?
Yeah, I mean that record was made to be played while someone's giving another person a
1976. 1976. Exactly. But listen to the lineup. It's Norman Connors on drums.
That's a sex you up record.
I think he's coming out of a limo, and there's still in the back seat of the limo a woman giving Donald Trump.
If Dr. Robert ran up to him to get an autograph, he would bench slap him.
No, you blanked out my joke there. That's in the back seat there. There's a woman giving Donald Trump a blowjob.
That's not a joke.
I think you getting bench slapped is funnier than that.
That's his history. That's like
Oh, I found this one.
Oh, good. That's he did. Did he do 4 records for Steeplechase?
Terrible cover.
Probably.
It's terrible cover art.
Yeah. Well, there you go. Why don't you go back in time and tell him that?
Yeah, exactly. So if anybody doesn't know, this is Buck Hill, and you got Buck Hill, Reuben Brown, Wilbur Little, Billy Hart. And so this was at the North Sea Jazz Festival in '81, I guess.
So it's live.
Yeah, that'll be fun. This one I think is actually a $2 record, but I like Don Ellis, so I picked it up.
Yeah.
Hey,
always get the record where Don Ellis has a Abraham Lincoln beard on him.
Yeah, 100%. That's a good point. And I don't know anything about this one either.
That is an excellent record. It really is a very good record.
Yeah. So is it actually them? Is it just old or what? Old recording?
I think it's an old recording, but it's tribute. I think it was produced by Cannonball Adderley.
Oh yeah, it was. Weird. Yeah. So yeah, it's Don Bias on sax, Bud Powell piano, Kenny Clark drums, Idris Suleiman on trumpet,
it was
bass, and recorded in Paris.
It was a self-recording that came out like in the 80s on Columbia, and I think every copy of that is a white label promo. Pull it out. Let's see.
Let's see.
Every copy of that I found is a white label promo.
Oh! I think you're right.
Yep, I have never found a regular version of that record.
You know, Rob, you're so talented. You should be the guy selling maps of the Hollywood homes.
Hey, everyone, I have a map to Mazzy's house.
Yeah.
There's also tunnels underneath it.
Remember those guys with the umbrella that would sit there selling the maps going to sunset?
They're still there.
I'm sure they are.
Yeah. They are. And then people don't
get this. Anybody know this record?
No, but his stuff is generally kind of smoothie jazz. What
I know. I like it though. I've got a couple of his records I like. It was like $2 stuff.
I mean, he's probably like the most respected because he came over here and did pretty well, I think.
You know, Rob, I want to thank you for hosting this rare Saturday night hangout, because a lot of people that don't have anything to do on a Saturday night, obviously Dr. Robert here,
all right.
Joe,
and Chris
hey,
everybody.
Are married. And they have families.
Hey, everybody joining us right now. Mazzy just insulted all of you.
No,
you have nothing to do.
No. What he said was.
Hold on, Chris. Is that it, Chris? Do you have more?
No. But Mazzy has to interrupt with this dumb story that no one cares about. Everybody sucks, even though he's here with us.
Hey, everyone in the PK, can you do the emoji of the middle finger for Mazzy, please?
No.
I do. I want to say this. I love how polite, out of all the people here, Joey's like the quiet, polite guy.
But he's laughing at he's laughing at you.
It totally does. That's okay. But he's a good sparring partner when we have conversations. when we do a collaboration. It's a good back and forth, and I appreciate that.
Yeah,
So.
I'm just
And with
waiting.
Dr. Robert. Dr. Robert and I have collaborated on some whack-a-mole stuff, and we do a great rapport in there. So I'm not collaborating. You know, I get it. Rob and I don't know, but the other two here, and Chris
all right.
and
I would like to hear about Chris's record haul today. So
Yes. All right. I found this one in that pile too. It's
Just
John
kissing it
Lewis,
out there.
John Lewis, Percy Heath, Chico Hamilton, Bill Perkins, and Jim Hall. So this is on
that's
Pacific Jazz, I guess.
Yeah.
Those look like 70s reissues of older.
Yeah, it says electrically re-recorded to simulate stereo. So we'll see
Yeah,
if
yeah,
it's
yeah.
something good or not.
But those are good cheap heat.
I got this one because I thought Mike would like it. So this is a old Clef kind of bassy dance session.
Nice.
Yeah.
Trippy.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it was weird because most of the stuff in there was, you know, the typical $2 shit, like you know, old Columbia soundtracks and shit like that. From the
But that's
50s.
an original Clef.
Yeah, check it out. Yeah, it is. Here, I'll put this so I can pull it out of the stamp sleeve. Soundtracks and shit like that.
I'll tell you one thing about those old Clefs. They're like battle tanks. Those things
they
sound
are.
amazing usually.
This one
Well,
looks.
You have your fingers all over that. I get people pissed off at me when I
I
do
haven't
that.
cleaned it yet, so I don't care.
Yeah, and he's not doing a whatnot auction. He could lick it if he wanted to.
Hey, can I take a moment here for a second?
Oh, anything for you.
Yeah, of course.
Concy, buddy. Yesterday was the day that
Word.
the Tracy Chapman was reissued. I'm not buying it. I have an original, whatever.
Same
And
here.
apparently it's getting good reviews. However, the forum audiophile freaks are hearing a pre-echo on one of the tracks, and our heads are exploding because that was like it's funny, like Dada. It was a digital recording that was done toward that time from digital to tape, and I don't understand all the, a digital tape hybrid thing because it's not an all analog recorded album, and this is the first time it's been cut.
But it was transferred to tape or whatever, right?
Yes. But apparently, some people in the forums hear that pre-echo thing. On Led Zeppelin, you heard it like that was on purpose. But sometimes on records, we've heard that So I don't know if it's just the fucking audiophile cunt noses that are freaking out about it, or if it's the reality of a situation. But you think with all the test pressing that the original producer and Tracy Chapman went back and forth that delayed this, they would have heard something that they didn't like. So fuck you.
Are there complaints being compared to an original copy of it?
Yes.
What?
Interesting.
What? You're so emotional. I just
No,
didn't-
I'm speaking English.
Usually that's the tape lead. I mean, that's there's a word for I'm spacing out where the tape is just, it's wound really tight and it's a magnetic thing and it can move it can kind of like move from one track to the other. That's the Led Zeppelin thing. Or it's a tape head thing, or it's a groove thing. It's like the groove.
But obviously,
hold on,
Tracy and a
Mazzy.
producer would have heard it. On the test.
Mazzy, there's one song on the album where it's her a cappella, as I recall.
Right. I know. I know.
Yeah,
that song.
and is it that song that they're hearing some sort of weirdness to it?
I don't think it's that song.
Because that song sounds like
there's a whole thread on the Hoffman. Vinyl Piper, 9 a.m. tomorrow or 8 a.m. whenever. Watch the video. You'll hear about Donovan.
Yeah, he'll be tied to his chair.
Donovan Sunday, Dada Monday.
My Donovan's not coming till Friday.
Well, I got
coming to the same town.
I got
wait.
an advance shipping.
Is Donovan still performing? By the way, does anybody know?
I don't.
Hold on. Again, Chris, you have more records to show.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm gonna have to get off, guys.
Okay.
We all need to do something. I would like you to do a video where you're looking at the camera, you're looking to everybody. It's sincere. It's not like you're in a chair.
Doc, enjoy the music. I admire you. This is one thing I will say, because I like going to see live music still. And you're one of those guys that will see live music. All these other fuckers are in bed at 9 o'clock. So good for you.
Hey, Mazzy, can you do the world a favor and have that one drink you always have now, please?
Oh, Well, all I can say is the only thing I object to that you said is something about how I'm not sincere. I always try to be sincere.
I think you're
So,
Right.
sincere.
Yeah,
It
I
looks
do.
like you're being sincere to someone standing in the upper corner of the room.
Oh, for God's sake, I am here all by myself, and you know, I'm here. I'm just here with you guys.
We love
So,
you, Doc.
yeah, I know. I love you guys too. So, at any rate,
Okay.
Good night.
All right.
It's
You
all-
know,
Here.
it's okay to go. See you guys
No.
later, and turn
Is
off
it-
your camera, please.
That's
Is that
creepy.
my-
That's
You can't
creepy.
do this.
That's
Can you
creepy.
can you see my eyeball now?
That's creepy.
No, I
That's
see
like
bags
watching
under
the
your eyes.
Tingler.
That's what I
That's
see.
like watching the Tingler.
At any rate, look, you guys are all great. Love time with you.
All right.
And thanks for
Okay.
setting it up again, Wax.
This
Thank
is the
you.
longest I've seen lows. Never mind. I want to
Yeah.
go back to Chris showing records. Can
All
everyone
right, good. All
Let's
right.
go,
Night,
Dr.
night.
Robert.
Night, night.
Irish goodbye. Thank you.
Bye.
He takes longer to get the fuck off of the stream than anyone
Oh no.
else.
No, I'm going to tell you one thing, Chris.
Right.
Showing that record is going to cost you another delay.
No, I know. I'll tell the story. Norman's ex-wife took this picture, and then he had a picture of himself in front of the drum kit in the same photo.
Right, Tony's drum kit. We were never married, but the
Okay.
mother of my child, Michelle, took that picture. That was
They lived in sin for several
the
years.
first of 7 records she photographed for Tony Williams.
No, I have the classic series or whatever, but this was in that $2 bin, and it's cut by Van Gelder.
Yeah.
Wow.
An original. Yeah. So
That's when he went back, and that's probably 1985 or 6.
let's see, probably something like that. Let's see.
Yeah.
It says
He went back to he studied composition,
85. Yeah.
and went back to Blue Note and recorded about 7 albums for Blue Note.
I don't know. Yeah, that's true. I don't know this record. It's Steve Kuhn. It's Warner Bros. ECM Warner. So it's ECM.
Yeah.
So it's Steve Kuhn. What the fuck does that even say? Nonfiction, I guess, is the name of the record. Yeah. Steve Kuhn, Steve Slagle on soprano and alto sax, Harvey Schwartz on bass, and Bob Moses on drums. So yeah.
He's
You know
the
this record at all,
guitarist,
right?
Steve Coon's the
Who?
guitarist.
No, he's a piano player. He played
Yeah.
piano on Basra. You know.
I mix him up with the other guy that has similar name.
That was all like the $2 bin stuff I got, and then
Yeah. How much was the Lions record?
So I had 3 records from this guy. The
Yeah.
Lions, and he wanted $45 for that, and then I got this one. He wanted $20 for this. So this is a Braxton Montreux Berlin concerts. This is on Arista. And so on this one, you got Anthony Braxton playing all kinds of shit. Kenny Wheeler, Dave Holland, Barry Altschul. That's the Montreux one. Side 2 is Anthony Braxton again. George Lewis on trombone, Dave Holland, Barry Altschul. So slightly different. Then there's another group. So this is 2 LPs. So he wanted $20 for that. And then the last one I found that he had is this Dave Murray. Just pulling out of the fucking thing here. The Dave Murray Big Band live at Sweet Basil or whatever.
Volume 1. Yeah.
Volume 1. He wanted $10 for this. So it's like $75. He said, I'll give you the Murray for free and give you 60 for the other 2. So I was like, okay.
Oh, that's
Seems
good.
fine.
Cool.
Yeah.
I got to think that Jimmy Lyons one goes for some dough.
It does. It goes for like $75-$80
Mm.
on the cogs or whatever. But I'll listen to 2 of the records already. I like it. Kind of reminds me of the wildflower shit or whatever it's called. You know what
Yeah.
we all have?
Yes.
So I'll tell you a story. I went to the record show and I was waiting for Louis to come down from Denton. And by
Did
the
he
time I was
come?
almost by the time I was almost done, he came down, and then we went to lunch and went to this old bar restaurant called Wilhoit's in downtown Grapevine. It's been there for 40-something years. And it was a garage, like the only garage in the whole town back in like the 20s. It's the same building anyway. So then I found some other stuff.
We're still waiting for Louis to show up here.
I don't know. We might be done by the time he shows up. So
then another lady had a $5 bin that I went through, and then I got her to give them all to me for like $4 a piece, basically. Let me see. 2 million records. Anyway, so I found this is a 360 copy of this.
Nice.
Okay.
I had that.
Then I got this Coleman Hawkins.
OJC. OJC.
Yeah, it's an OJC. Yeah,
that's an excellent record.
Sweet. Yeah, it's got Coleman Hawkins, Tommy Flanagan, Wendell Marshall on bass, and Ozzie Johnson on drums. So
I have an original of a different cover. They changed it for the OJC, I think.
And then I got this Dexter and Slide Hampton on MPS. I've got the reissue of it, but I was like, oh, that's cool.
That's good.
The record's clean. Got that old Unipack sleeve, which my reissue didn't have, so I thought that was kind of cool. Cheap Heat. Found another copy of this. I figured I'd throw it in one of your auctions. This Trinity Tommy Flanagan record. It's excellent.
Yes.
Super good. And then what else? So I don't know. This is it's called The New Herd, which I guess was like Woody Herman's band. This is live at Newport 75, but this isn't Woody Herman. This is Toshiyuki Miyama and his New Herd. So I don't know. It's a Japanese record.
Big band.
It's a Japanese. It's a Japanese big band. They do like Donna Lee on here and St. Louis Blues. So I thought that was kind of cool.
Louis Armstrong. Is in St. Louis Blues Louis Armstrong, or is that a traditional?
Yeah, I think it's Louis Armstrong. Yeah. Found another copy of this. I figured I could sell in the auction.
Yeah, you can't go wrong with that record.
Yeah, and then I found this.
Oh, that's the record. You're going to keep that.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
I bought it. That record sounds excellent. It's a great sounding and a really good record. There's some nice kind of solo.
Is that the one you need? Is that the one you need? Is that the one you need?
No, no one needs that record, but it's a great. That's a time where that's a great discovery, because I don't think Al Cohen and Zoot Sims get the respect maybe some people think they deserve.
I only bought it because Jackie Bard's on it. So
yeah, that record is very good.
And then this was in there too. I don't have a copy of that.
Wow.
Some people say that's the best Woody Shaw, but
what people would say that?
Some.
The
people that are discerning enough not to buy on Whatnot and then in a wax dog.
A couple more, just two more. So this one was the guy had a bunch of shit. It was most of them were overpriced. So he's like, this whole box is half off. I'm like, okay, so you just double the price on everything basically. But I got this Flora Pareem record on Milestone.
The Flora record. That's fantasy. That Fantasy Records.
Yeah, it is Fantasy, I think.
You know, I love the first two records that Return to Forever, Trick Korea, Light as a Feather, and
what year is that? When did that come out?
Let's see.
That's about 73 or 4.
Yeah, come on, Joey. That's like a Farrah Fawcett hairdo. Come on.
1976.
Oh, 76.
76. You nailed it. Is that a good record? Because I love her. I'm always looking for another record.
I don't know. I'm going to find out. I mean, it's got
pretty good. It is pretty good.
Carter on it. George Duke.
It's pretty good.
Monty's on it. Alfonso Johnson. A bunch of guys. So
they were married.
Yeah. I mean, so like for $5, I'll pick up a Flora.
I saw them when they got out of prison at the same time after their drug cocaine bust, and they did everything at the Zellerbach Auditorium in Berkeley. Incredible.
Another reason to like her.
I think she's great.
Yeah, I love her.
Damn it! What the fuck? Post-it notes. This was the first one I bought. This is the last Hard Show. This is Mike Knock quartet featuring Brecker.
Who's there? Who's there?
Yeah, that's a good one.
What label is that on?
It's on Timeless, and this is an original.
Come on,
Dutch.
Joey's the one with the wine, not.
It's got the good old Rick Ballard import sticker on it. So this could have been Nicole's copy. Who knows? So that's it.
That's a good haul.
Yeah, I thought so.
How long did you spend there?
Let's see. I got there. I probably walked around for like 2.5 hours.
That's good.
Yeah, and then me and Louie went to that restaurant, and I got kind of a little bit drunk and had a hamburger, and then went back and kind of walked it off a little bit, before I went home.
I'll tell you my favorite thing about Grapevine, Texas, because I used I used to test movies in the mall there at the AMC.
Grapevine Mills.
We're out there recruiting people at night. We hear a gigantic alarm go off around 9 o'clock. They have a curfew. All the kids had to run home. It was like packed with kids, teenagers, and this alarm went off, curfew, and they all scattered.
It's fucking wild.
Yeah,
They did that shit to us in San Antonio when I was a kid. We had a curfew too, which I thought was bullshit.
So Joey, is Christina still in Vegas or is she back?
She's in Vegas till like Wednesday, dude.
Wow,
I'm getting the hour by hour up down.
Wait, is this a fun trip or a work trip?
The fun trip. It's her and
5 days. That's too long.
It loses the charm after a day and a half.
Yeah, 2 days.
Joey,
I agree with
watch
you.
out because you know who else is in Vegas?
Who?
Vinyl Piper. He's going to Vegas tomorrow.
Okay. What are they going to see the Eagles or something?
No,
They saw him last night.
I think for work stuff.
They saw the Eagles
They saw him last night.
in the.
Oh.
How do they like it?
Christina is not an Eagles fan per se. She was kind of like, is this going to be horrible? She texted me last night, said it was really fucking good.
Yeah, I'm sure in that sphere, in that situation,
Although she did think that we had a slight like, no, you're wrong. I'm right. She thought Joe Walsh was dead. So
no, of course not.
Joe Walsh is not dead.
Joey, I've experienced two people who I thought were 100% were dead. Because before I go to sleep, I'm on the iPad,
right,
and chilling out,
right,
with herbal refreshment, and I swear to God, I somehow tangent off on an actor. Scott Glenn. Scott Glenn's in the current season of White Lotus.
He's in 2 episodes of White Lotus.
Yeah, you know how old Scott Glenn is?
Who the fuck's Scott Glenn?
Oh, The Right Stuff, and a great actor.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah. Love him.
That dude's 86 years old. I thought he was dead.
He's on this season.
He was on.
White Lotus?
He's
where does he play?
Well, you have to watch it. Tomorrow night's the finale.
I've been watching it. I've seen the whole. I'm up to date.
Well, he was. That Taiwanese, I'm sorry, the Thai woman who was a singer. Her husband. Her husband. The guy that pushed over the chair.
Yeah. He got pushed over. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Exactly. Yeah. Tomorrow night's the last night.
I know.
Great series. Great episode.
He's a great actor, though, man. He was great, and he's been on some shit. He was in Red October. Remember, he was the American.
2 nights ago, he was on the Daily Show being interviewed. So
hey, I'm gonna give you a link because the whole movie's on YouTube. It's a John Frankenheimer movie called The Challenge, where he plays this American who goes to Japan, and Toshiro Nifumi teaches him how to be a samurai. That movie's fucking awesome.
I think I've heard about
that movie. It was great.
Urban Cowboy. He was in. He's been in a lot of good movies. I like him in The Right Stuff. I love it.
Yeah.
Rob.
Yes.
By the way, today I ordered Buddy Tate meets Dollar Brand.
You're not going to be disappointed.
I streamed it, and I just went, I need this record. So
I'm telling you, it's Cecil McBee steals the record, but the charm of Buddy Tate is he just makes everyone on the record better.
Yeah. I went to
Go
ahead. You go.
Well, Dollar Brand, I know, like his idol is Duke Ellington.
Right. It's a good
and
idol.
I know there's a few albums you can buy, but usually you're getting stuff where he plays avant-garde or the Cape Jazz, which is kind of joyous kind of jazz. And
I texted you last night. I listened to this last night.
Yeah, and what's your thoughts?
I loved it.
So people might not know, Joey comes down here to do business, but sometimes he takes a break, and we went record shopping.
Yeah.
So I took him record shopping, and I found that record in a bin, and I said, you need to buy this. I know that's coming out. Half of it is coming out as a Tone Poet, I think, this year.
Every side was great. I cleaned it.
Yeah.
It's in really good shape. I listened to this last night. This is really good.
Yes, that's awesome record. But all Sonny Stitt's music records.
Yeah.
I told you to buy that.
You told me to buy. Well, I didn't. I've wanted this one for a while. I didn't get it.
Yeah.
So this is not a jazz record, but I was very excited to get that.
Okay.
I haven't listened to this yet, but I'm excited to listen to it.
For people that don't know, that is an amazing sounding record.
Yeah.
I think it's under $25. You should be able to find it under 20. It's alternate takes from Atlantic, his Atlantic records. But somehow whoever mixed it or remastered it or redid it, it sounds so good.
Yeah, I cleaned it up. It sounds good. I love Chris Connor. I was very excited to get this. And this sounded amazing. It's got a bit of a dish warp in it, but it played fine.
Okay, next time you come, I'll flatten it for you.
Yeah, this is not a cheap record, but I was very excited to hear it. But I went to the record store today. You want to see what I got?
Well, does he moan the whole time on that record?
No, actually, I don't know about that one.
Very slight, hardly any moaning. I know Pike's Peak is the worst. This record. I have it. I have about 5 of his records now. Something about him I like, but I don't like the moaning. I'm with you.
Well, Joey, I think a bunch of record store days in the last 3 years. Now Gone, I think, may have done it. Put out some of his records, and those are good.
I've got those. I got the last one.
Which record store do you go to? What record store did you go to today?
Drive Time. They got 2 Donna records, so they're excited. And I did these notes. Remember, Mazzy, I did one for what's our place? I'm spacing out.
Platters, Easy Street.
Platters, Silver Platters. So I did one for Silver Platters. I did one for Sonic Boom, and I did one for Jive Time. But they weren't sure if they were going to get the record, and they got 2 copies. So the first person that buys the Dada record at those 3 places are getting a handmade little art thing from me, and I had all the band members sign it. Do you know this record? Anybody know this record?
No, who is it?
I like that cover.
I know it's fucking amazing. It's a Numero group record. Margot Guron. I just read the hype on it. It's it's a bunch of demos, but she wrote a bunch of hits in the 60s and 70s. Like she's like a pop writer, but it's cool, and she's cool. And I streamed it, and I went mine.
Metallic inks.
I know, it's pretty crazy. This, I love this guy. He's amazing.
Shaka, boom boom.
Yeah, it's the Charlie Magura.
That's Charlie Magura.
Charlie Magura.
Is that a new Charlie Magura release? I mean, he's dead, but is that a new Numero?
It was a Numero. Yes.
Is that what's the date on it? Is it brand new? Because I pick up
no date on the back.
I pick up all the Charlie Magura records.
Take it back. There is a date. It's 2025. You're right.
I have to get that record.
Yeah, I love him. He's such I mean, that guy.
Really,
he's so cool. He's like the coolest dead guy of the last 10 years. This was playing when I walked in. I'm all, what the hell is this? I love it. They only had 1 copy. It was brand new. I bought it.
Oh, awesome. Sweet.
So what is
it? It's like 70s and late 60s. Kind of, I don't know, cheesy. Not even cheesy's wrong. Pop hits from Europe, right?
Is it like lounge music?
No. It's cool. It's sexy, cool. It's pop.
But not like bam, 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 bam. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun.
Might be exactly like that. I'm not sure.
Yeah. Hang on, I gotta show y'all something now. I just looked that up, and there's a bunch of those.
Yeah.
If I can figure out how the fuck to do it.
That's a good cover.
Those
are all the women Mazzy. Those are all the women Mazzy dated when he worked at the record store.
Well, like there's a bunch of these Cosmic Discotheque. I guess they were a series.
Probably.
Yes,
you're probably right, Wax.
I saw that, but this one
pretty cool.
Like this happens. It probably happens to you guys too. But fuck Jive Time. That's happened. It's like the 18th time.
That's a cool little store. That's a cool.
Well, actually, Joey Mazzy took me there. They were playing a record.
And did you buy it?
2 records. I bought one. I almost bought the second one.
Yeah.
But yeah. That's a good.
I only
start.
heard one song off this. It was enough. It's all. I'm really into Italian pop music of the the 60s and 70s. It was cool. And then this is not my record. It's on loan, but I love this record. I've cleaned this 4 fucking times.
Did it help?
It is so much cleaner. I did like a deep clean. I am very excited about
Yeah,
how
do you have a degritter, Joey? What do you have?
I wish I have the tank, dude. But
Oh.
I do it.
DIY.
It's all DIY, but it's different levels of DIY. I mean, it's like I do for clean, I do for used, and then if I get a record like that where it's like I know I can get it.
Do you take all the jewelry off your ears and put it in there too at the same time?
I have actually.
He's like the guy. He's like the 2 dudes on Breaking Bad in the Winnebago that bake and make the the meth. That's how he cleans his records.
Well, why are you making that joke about him when you actually look like the dude from Breaking Bad?
I know. I do. But no, I had an extra I love Procol Harum, and people who watch me know that. And if you want an American one, that brown label, obviously A&M record is the one to get. We listened to it when he came over last week, and it's a little noisy a little bit. And I have a promo stamp copy that I kept. So I gave him that one because we were talking about it. And it was a little noisy at some parts. Did it help at all? Do you know? Did you listen to it yet?
I listened to it after the second cleaning. Then last night I went, I put on the goggles and I'm all, no, I'm going all in. I'm going all in on this record. And I have different, like, you have to put like a label thing that like clamps on it.
But it could have some just surface noise from being worn, no?
Yeah. So I've got it to the point where all there is left is that kind of stuff. Dude, I'm bringing it back, man. Because I'm going to get
left on that.
I'm going to get the MoFi.
The MoFi is actually excellent of that.
Yeah, I'm getting that. I've got one in my car right now.
The opening track is a quiet intro, so you kind of want a quiet version of that.
That's the song I checked it on every time.
Yeah. But what's Whiter Shade of Pale on? Which album?
That's on the American first album, not on the original UK copy. And unfortunately, the American album was only issued, the stereo is only reprocessed for stereo. So it was a single. It was added to the American, not on the British. But that's
of which album?
Of the first Procol Harum album.
Okay,
it's like one of my favorite songs ever.
Yeah, it is.
On the American one.
But this isn't
that could be a top 10 song of all time.
Yeah, but the second and third album are better album wise. But that has the original Conquistador. If you get that live record,
that's right. That's what I'm thinking of. I'm thinking of Conquistador. Never mind.
Conquistador was the one that the better version is on that live.
I know. We gotta get that.
The drums on that, it's a fucking killer version.
What is Whiter Shade of Pale on? What record is that on?
Well, it's on that album, on the American version of that album.
This one? Well, this is not the American version.
Oh, what is that? What version is
that? It's
that's music on vinyl, but is it not on that? Maybe they picked the one. Did you look?
Scorpio. It's from Lithuania.
Music on vinyl is probably the UK, but track listing, unless they stuck it on there.
It is not on here.
Yeah, it's not on the UK. It was only a single.
This is Netherlands.
Yeah. Well, that's and Whiter Shade of Pale is the most played record in history of the UK on jukeboxes radio.
And which is crazy. The Beatles and the Stones are from there.
And it's one of those songs that transcends generations.
I agree.
It's an excellent song.
The Bach
thing.
In
fact, I might get hate for this. There was this one-off band called HSAS. It was Neil Sean and Sammy Hagar, and I forget the other 2 guys. So they recorded an album live to an audience, but they mixed out the audience. But they do Lighter Shade of Pale. Excellent version of the song.
Wider.
Chris, I love hearing the sound Chris made when you named the artists on that record. It was like
But that's his usual take on
Wyoming Dave. Keith Reed. Procol Harum was one of those few bands that had an independent lyricist. Keith Reed, he wasn't a musician in the band. he wrote almost all the lyrics with Gary Brooker music wise. So like Bernie Taupin with Elton John, he was the lyricist that wrote all that kind of.
The guy who played piano wrote the music.
No,
No.
yeah, Gary Brooker wrote
The
and then
singer,
Matthew
and he was the
Fisher.
singer.
Yeah, he was a soulful.
That was
Blue
like he has a one in a lifetime type of voice.
Yeah, he died like what 2 years ago, 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, everything's on the Big Chill soundtrack. It's a great record. No matter every time you hear that record.
Talk about
That's
a
why I
record
have the
that
Big Chill soundtrack. It's a great soundtrack.
yeah, very popular. You can always find.
People should
Hey,
buy all those Procol Harum records.
I was moving my records around and reshelving them.
Is that on your way to the toilet?
No.
Well, I have to. There you go. Christopher labeled that band HSAS, which I like them. So I bought this a long time ago, this record, and I don't know why if it was released as a novelty on Audio Fidelity Records, but in the left channel is swing music. They're playing these songs, these swing jazz artists. And in the right channel, at the same time, they're playing jazz. And look at the lineup of jazz people that are on this.
At the same time.
At the same time.
And
so I think the thought was you would have a knob where you could switch to your right and left.
Oh my God.
No. Have you listened to it at the same time? Does it like actually work?
It's not horrible. I bought it because I saw someone show it in a video.
Yeah.
But what I'm thinking is whoever has the rights to it, they need to release just this version.
Yeah.
Which
that is wild.
Yeah, isn't that crazy?
Yeah, that's definitely a novelty.
Yeah.
Novelty. But here's the lineup. Here's the lineup on the jazz side. You got Freddie Hubbard, Bill Hardman, Curtis Fuller, Gretchen Moncour, Eric Dolphy, Wayne Shorter, Bill Evans, Ron Carter, Paul Chambers, Charlie Purslip, and Jimmy Cobb.
Well,
tell me you don't want to hear that record.
That's the top side.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. Oh, it's just violins and it's just a bunch of violin. It's just
I think the only name I've really heard before is Charles McCracken. But I thought that was part of a joke I heard.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But
in your head.
Really cool, weird ass record.
It is weird.
Interesting.
Yeah. That's when I was like buying everything Bill Evans. If he was on it, I would buy the record.
Is he on it?
Yeah. Yeah. He's on it.
Well,
So
I'm still kind of that way. I have to get the every Bill Evans record
store day. I think I'm in my mind right now.
You're not going to get it.
I'm not getting it. I might get it, but I'm not getting any of the live stuff because I feel like it's going to be available later for less.
I hear you.
If I want it, the good thing about those titles is I can be able to stream them right after they come out.
I'm going to spend 10 hours or more hunting down my record. I mean, this is going to be a weird ass day.
Yeah. Aren't you making an appearance at a store?
No. I mean, we started. I'm not doing any of that kind of thing.
Here's a question for you.
Yeah, he's going to make an appearance holding the heating bottle.
Seriously, Joey.
Yes.
This year you'll be announcing all the stuff, wonderful stuff you'll be doing. But this is a perfect opportunity to shoot content for social media. That you walk into a store for Record Store Day.
I'm going to be live streaming a lot the whole time.
Yeah, but just have footage. Let Norman help you out and put a video together like that.
Yeah.
Christina said she's going to make puzzle piece sugar cookies to hand out to people. It's going to be wild.
I've been to stores where they give out breakfast burritos and drinks.
Well, Mazzy buys donuts usually. So
yeah, but how many of those people are still alive after a year later from the donuts?
They come back for more.
I'll tell you what, though, Rob, we interviewed Zeb this morning. I got to edit the video tomorrow and put it up for all the Record Store Day stuff.
How'd that go?
It was great. I mean, he's always awesome to talk to, but he sent Felipe all the records, and Felipe has shipped them, divvied them up and shipped them to us. But Zev always sends us all the files, and I got to tell you, the Kenny Dorham sounds kick ass, and so does the Freddie Hubbard. They're both from '67 at this
Yeah.
club called Blue Morocco. It's
I've
fucking awesome.
listened. They've dropped some songs, so I've streamed.
Yeah,
song. It sounds excellent,
Mhm.
but it's just at some point, I can't go in there and buy $500 worth of records. So
Right. Exactly.
I don't want to. I could do
No.
anything I want to do,
No.
but
I'm thinking
I'm
about getting a lot of for the ones that I don't get for free. I'm thinking about just buying the CDs. I mean, because the CDs are going to be awesome.
tomorrow night I'm going to record a video. I'm going to listen to both the Monk, because I got the record store day from Kraft and in my old mono, and I'll do a comparison. But there's one title no one's talking about that I'm really hoping any store I go to has, and that's the Nathan Davis reissue. I really want to try to get Nathan Davis. I want to get the Pharaoh Sanders.
Yeah, me too.
What's the Nathan Davis one?
Yeah, what is that one? Look, pull it up.
No,
pull it up.
I love Nathan Davis.
So Nathan Davis's stuff is notoriously expensive. He had his own label, so he didn't press a lot of records of his titles, but those are very expensive. And just so happens the music's very good.
I found it already.
So it's another MPS title, because last year they put out the Hard Walk.
Yeah.
This is the one where I think he does the theme to Zoran, right?
Zoran.
That was like his Sean Connery sci-fi movie. That was
Zardos.
Zordon.
Zardos.
That movie sucked.
A Borman film. Zardos.
So, Happy Girl, yeah. So I
did
see that. I saw that.
An OG of that record is probably 150.
Is it good? I saw that. I don't know why I didn't put that on my list.
Dude, look at the lineup on this record.
Yeah.
You got Woody Shaw, Larry Young, Jimmy Wood, and Billy Brooks. That's a good lineup.
Yeah.
John Borman. Yes. John Borman.
Yes,
Zardos.
The theme to Zoran.
This is going to be very expensive.
Zoltan.
No.
Yeah, because
okay. Here's the best part of Zardos. Look at this. Okay. Look at this shot.
Yeah. It's him in that leather.
Yes.
Banana hammock or whatever that is. Actually, people think that Borat did that first. It was Sean Connery.
John Borman did also Deliverance. He had a great run around
that movie's a weird ass movie.
British director. The first movie I ever saw him was Having a Wild Weekend, the kind of Hard Day's Night version of the Dave Clark 5.
Yeah, but he directed the Emerald Forest.
Did he do the what do you call it?
The Excalibur?
Excalibur. Yeah.
Yeah.
I loved Excalibur.
Yeah, he's a great director.
Merlin in that movie was fucking weird, man. Remember he had that like chrome fucking
Zardos.
Yeah.
You know what movie they're remaking for next year? They've already went into production. Is Highlander. They're redoing Highlander.
Oh, I tell you,
the original Highlander is a top 10.
I absolutely loved. We'll see if it's good. The preview for the Naked Gun with.
Yeah, some people didn't like it, but I thought that OJ joke was pretty funny.
Oh, the RJ joke was great.
But it's Pamela Anderson's in it. They didn't show her.
Liam Neeson. I mean, and it's he didn't direct it, but it's the Ted guy.
One of the Lonely Island guys.
But it's the producer. What's his name?
It's Seth MacFarlane. Was supposed to direct. He was supposed to write. He wrote a script, but because he had the rights to it. But it's
pretty good.
Akiva Schaffer, who is from the Lonely Island from Saturday Night Live. But he directed the Chip and Dale movie that people liked.
Okay,
well, sort of
anyway, we'll see if it's good or not. But he's not playing Drebin; he's playing the son of. So all the sons of.
Well, but it's going to be the same. And people fail to realize they put Leslie Nielsen in there because he wasn't funny to act straight.
Well, that was because no one knew he could do that before Airplane.
Well, he was, but again, he did it straight. And after Airplane, they did the TV show Police Squad.
Well, no,
came from
that. Well, right. The TV show,
but it was Police
6
Squad.
episodes. They only showed 4, and we actually had because for some reason I got all the extra 2 episodes.
The funniest joke is like the tall guy in the lab. He goes, "You got something on your face." He goes, "No, the other
The
side.
other
A
side.
big chunk of banana falls off."
We had we had Naked Gun parties back in the 80s. That was
Yeah.
so funny because 2 of the episodes were never broadcast on ABC. They pulled it in the
Ooh.
summer. And so
Oh, yeah.
for some reason, we had them, and we had the extra 2
Yeah,
episodes.
the new Tron trailer dropped today.
Tron?
Because
Wow.
Sounds like
over last week, they had the CinemaCom, which is the theater owners convention, and they do presentations to all the theater owners. So all the footage that they're showing, they show trailers, and they usually just drop the trailers.
Who's in
right
Tron,
after
and who did Tron? Who's the new
Tron is going to be Jeff Bridges again in it, but it's the guy who directed the last Tron is not available. He did the sequel to Top Gun, and he has the Formula One movie coming out. So it's
I saw the trailer for the Formula One movie. I was very like, oh god.
Well, my friend's involved with it, and he says it's
You know,
good. But,
I am a huge, since I was 6 fucking years old, Formula One fan.
Well, the movie's been
I
delayed.
want it to be good. Let's put it that way.
The movie was supposed to come out like a year or 2 ago.
Yep.
But because of the strike, the actor strike and all that,
Right. Well, that makes
and
sense.
then they have to film him when Formula One's in season.
Right.
So they didn't get a lot of shots. So they had to go, I think, this current season, they're even shooting shit.
I think Tron came out probably in 82 because I was there promoting our book, or it just come out, I think. And David and I went to, it was Grauman's Chinese Theater before it was Mann's. And the place was a third full, and we saw the original Tron on Hollywood Boulevard there at Grauman's. And it was interesting. I mean, that was the first movie like that at the time. It wasn't great, but it was interesting.
Yeah,
Hey.
it wasn't that good.
But it was great to see that, go to that theater and see this. The theater was kind of run down at that point.
You know what's funny, Mazzy? They turned that theater. They turned that theater into an IMAX. When they went into it to redo it, they discovered that they built over the orchestra pit.
And they pulled it up.
They pulled it up, and it made a perfect size for an IMAX theater.
Nice.
So it's a great place to see.
Oh, it's a great theater.
They redid it about 15 years ago, or maybe around that, within the last 15 years.
Well, like in the early 80s, it was like run down. Hollywood Boulevard.
Yeah, I mean, Hollywood Boulevard was not good.
I remember we stayed at the Holiday Inn, that really tall structure. Off Hollywood
I
Boulevard.
understand you could score some drugs there.
Well, it was a really dive then. Now it's been more trendy and stuff. And
that's where I saw when they reissued the Hard Day's Night. I saw it at that theater. It was fucking awesome.
Well, you know what hasn't opened. It's supposed to is the Cinerama Dome, which behind it, the company that was running it decided to get out of the movie theater business. So there's a vacant 12-plex behind it, which I hear they're not going to open. But that Cinerama Dome's a historical landmark. So
I've seen myself on screen in the Cinerama Dome.
Wow.
Really?
Wow.
On Back to the Future.
What do you Back to the Future? You play
come on. I told you. Yes. No, I'm one of the extra musicians when he's trying out for the high school.
When he's doing the Chuck Berry stuff.
Yeah,
That's
well, no. When he's
doing
stuff
to
try to get
Huey Lewis goes, it's just too loud. It's just too loud.
Exactly. I was there all day with that guy, and because I know the guy who taught Michael J. Fox how to play guitar, and he was in a band that I was kind of good friends with the bass player of the band he was in. But that's how I got in.
Did Michael J. Fox actually play the guitar in that?
Yes, yeah,
wow.
He does. But I mean, it's a movie.
Sure.
You have to know how to do it to play against it. Let's put it that way.
There's footage. I think before he got his illness got him.
Yeah.
There's footage of him at a concert playing guitar.
Yeah.
I forget.
By the way, I partied with him all night, and it was a good night. He was in a club, a car club where they all had. I think it was Datsun it might have been 280Z, not the 240Z. And Chachi comes up at the light. He's in his 280Z, and he's like, I mean, it was before Chachi is a fucking
whatever. Mega?
Yeah,
Well,
exactly.
if you ever saw that movie, Bright Lights, Big City,
great,
Oh, yeah.
I love that
basically
book.
Michael J. Fox is playing a version of the writer of the book.
Is that
but
McInerney
he
or
was
McInerney
a
or something?
no, he was a huge drug addict. That might not be that far off from Michael J. Fox at that period of time.
I mean, it was
His
okay. Look,
age
I'm not
is-
outing anybody for the drug use, so I'll just put it all on me. I was heavily into drugs at that point. All right.
Well,
So,
no, I've
it was a
heard.
fun time.
I if you hear the stories I've heard, is that him and Woody Harrelson were quite a pair. That's the stories I heard.
I didn't see
Those
Woody
two-
Harrelson that night, but it was a
Yeah,
we had
those
a fun
two would
night.
go out and have fun together.
Let's put it this way: right after that, I was arrested and taken to jail.
Yeah.
Not
Yeah,
too many
really?
nights after that.
Yeah.
With the bass player that I was referring to, who's in the band with the guitar player who taught Michael J. Fox how to play. But I was making margaritas for a party. A guy was leaving. They were tearing down a condo or something like that, a big giant building of condos, and the guy who owned it threw a blowout LA party. I was in charge of making the margaritas, and it didn't go well for me that night. But whatever, I'm still here. I'm alive.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know what? It allows you to be able to write songs that get into the psyche of
Exactly.
but here's the because I had a brother who drugs ruined his life,
Right.
and that from the get-go. So that example for me was an area I just
From the get-go?
didn't get. Yes, him and the get-go would get fucked up all the time. No,
Yeah.
from the get-go, from the
Yeah.
time I don't even know the earliest he took a drug, but he was
Right.
out of our house by the time he was 16. He was
Mhm.
he was no longer in the house. So-
Yeah.
Did he ever get his shit together?
What?
Did he ever get past that? Your brother?
He did get past that. He was, I mean, to whatever extent he was clean was probably 30 years, but then he had a relapse and didn't come
Oh
out.
no.
Yeah, it was sad.
I'm sorry.
I mean, it's sad that
Is that when you started your telling people they're moron period after that?
no. I came out of my mom's womb going, "You're a moron." But
Doctor.
no, see, the thing about me is the personality I have now. As a 6 or 7 year old kid, I had the personality.
That's how I feel.
Yeah.
That's how I feel.
That's so I was the person my parents I didn't hang out with kids. I was around adults making them laugh. And I wasn't doing like stupid
Now we're
kid-
getting into not records, but like public therapy sessions.
Yeah, psychoanalyst.
You know,
Yeah.
everybody watching now,
everyone is fucked up. Everyone comes from fucked up.
That's
This
true.
is
And
not
you can
just-
make any connection. But I like to feel I treat people that deserve respect with respect.
I don't know if I
right?
deserve it, but you definitely I have fun.
You
going out
deserve
around town.
respect. Hey, Jeffrey Boma, where have you been? You long time no see. I'd say most of the people here in the chat, some deserve respect. I have no, people give it, you get it. That's how it works.
What the hell is this Jazz Bum exposed
What are
Where?
you talking about?
image that's in the StreamYard? Here, this. What the hell is this?
Dude. I'll tell you that privately what that is about.
All right. I didn't see it sitting there like, what the fuck is that?
I don't, you know what? I think what happened is I use Canva to make a lot of my graphics.
Yeah.
Chris. And I think what I did is I went over a graphic I made, Jazz Bums Exposed. And it just kept the
Yeah,
same
do you is Canva have an AI element to it? Obviously,
Yeah, it does. In fact,
is that the
be
special
perfectly honest, a lot of
pay-per-view version?
I'll make a thumbnail for this stream, but all my thumbnails, I go through Canva's version of AI, whatever they do, and then I actually about 30% I redo them because somehow it's not perfect. Like I asked for a picture of me, I have to put a beard on it. I do things just to make them.
I don't know
come
that
out.
shit. Good for you.
It's not hard.
You do a good job.
Thank you.
You know, for a schmuck, you do a good job.
Thank you.
What time do you think Kimbo is going to be in line? I'm sorry to change the subject, but I really need to know this.
Well, are there records that he really, really wants?
No, we're talking. Yeah, but Kimbo, my guess will be 5 a.m.
That's it. He's
Maybe
usually there
earlier.
like 3.
I don't get there before that. I'm
No,
the
you
closest.
got there at like 4:31. I
No.
mean, we
Well,
just
once,
came to,
yeah.
yeah.
The thing is, I live 10 minutes away, 12 minutes away, so I'm the closest. He usually texts me. I set my alarm for like 5:30, and then I wake up at 4 or 4:30. I just wake up. You know how it is.
Wow, Jeffrey Beaumont.
Uh-oh.
What happened?
Wow. Houston came back and beat Duke.
Oh,
Wow.
I don't.
They've been
follow.
talking
I
about
would
it in
like
the
to see
comments for like 30
Houston- I
minutes.
would like
man.
to see Houston win the national championship then.
I just want to say real quick, Peanut Gallery, this shows you how much Rob pays attention to everything you
So,
say. Since he said
5-ish
30 minutes ago.
But I find that like at the most 5 people stay overnight, and the rest get there at.
I
5.
think this is going to be a long line
This is
year.
a
with
busier
Charlie,
one.
it's Charlie XCX and Taylor Swift. It's
Oh,
going to be a bad line.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But those people
you know
aren't
what?
gonna
Those
be going
those
for
girls
data.
are just padding. Those girls are
Those
padding.
peop-
They're not going to
those
get your
peop-
records.
Those people aren't going for data, or Warren Zevon or something,
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But my plan
All right,
is to take sleeping aids and agents around 8:00 or 8:30 and
Luckily,
wake up at 3.
we're in the warming trend, so it's not going to be crazy.
You know
It's
what,
gonna be
Joey? I take
350.
the other. Joey, here's my suggestion.
Yes.
You're an old guy. You need your beauty rest. I used to get up early and go, but people in the lines I go to are just not that interesting to have conversations with.
Mm.
I'm going to get it. Usually Record Safari, who is not participating this year, but
Right.
they drop a ton of shit, and usually everything's 20 or 25% off.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a choice. And then if I end up usually going there first, I don't get up early. I go maybe an hour early, and then I go hit up all the other stores. Atomic doesn't participate, but they usually do like 10 or 15% off.
Right.
And then I may go there, and then I'll go hit the stores that participate, and I usually will find stuff.
Yeah.
I took my note to Amoeba. Amoeba has a note, and what's the place in the valley? Freakbeat. They have a note. Both those have.
Okay.
He actually had my record. He had the daughter record out behind the counter when I walked in, and so he showed. That was the first time I actually saw it. Was when I dropped off the note.
All right.
But,
Awesome.
he's very nice. That guy's very nice.
Bob's nice.
Very nice. Very nice guy.
I don't go for the used stores at all. And the thing is, the stuff I want, I don't expect. I mean, Warren Zevon, I'll probably get it. There's a Ry Cooter and a Clarence White and a Marty Stewart. That's not going to sell out. I'll find.
Have you listened to any of the Zev stuff yet? Did you?
I have.
Yeah.
Okay. Here's my take. I got 3 of them. The one I wanted, I didn't get from Zev. I didn't ask for it, but I did not get the Patsy Cline. I kind of wanted that.
I want that. I want that.
But out of the 3, the Durham was my least favorite.
Oh, yeah.
It's good, but Joey and I listened to it. There was a period where the saxophone sounded strange or away from the mic or something.
Off mic. He was definitely off. He was like off the stage or something.
But it was good. But I loved the Mingus is my first. I love the fucking Mingus. It's heavy, 3 records, and then what's the other one?
Freddie Hubbard.
Freddie Hubbard is really good.
Yep.
That's that rock. What do they call it? It's on fire. It's good.
On fire,
Those
now,
2, the Kenny Dorham,
on fire. They just say fire.
Fire. Okay,
Chris, what was your thought? What was your lineup of those titles?
I think the Freddie Hubbard would probably be 1, and then maybe the Kenny Dorham. I mean, the Kenny Dorham and the Mingus are kind of. I really like the Mingus because that band didn't get recorded that much. Like Ricky Ford's in that band. It's like the late 70s, and they didn't really record it much, and so I'm excited to get that one for sure. They're all good though. I will want that. That's
what about the Bill Evans? Did you guys?
It's great. Yeah, no, it's great. It's got what was it in I forget where is it at? I can't remember now. Norway or some shit like that.
It's always there. Yeah.
Anyway, so it's 3 different groups from. Well, I got the files. Felipe's got that one. So I streamed it this morning before we talked to Zev.
And
it's good. And so there's 3 different bands. There's one with him and Chuck Israels and somebody else I forget in the band. And then Lee Konitz, I think, is on that one for one song. There's a group with him with NHOP with Niels Henning, Orsted Pedersen. It's really good. And then the last one is Eddie Gomez and Marty Morell, which was his band for a very long time.
I have to get that. There's no way I'm not getting that.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking about just ordering a bunch of the CDs after the fact because they're like $20.
Yeah, it's a way to go. If you listen to CD, I'm just out of CDs. I'm done. I'm not doing CDs anymore.
I got back. I was out on them too. Then I started buying them again.
This is a funky, great record, 1970, unreleased. I think they released it on. Some of it came out on a CD in early 2000s, but not on vinyl. Carla Thomas, 1970.
She's cool.
Funky, but it's got like strings. It's a great Motown.
Stax, bro. Motown.
Stax. Really good. I haven't listened to this. It's the Jazz Dispensary.
I don't want that.
Yeah, I haven't heard everything. I don't get everything. I get a lot. I mean, I get a handful. I'm not. Believe me, I complain.
Hey, now, Mazzy. Now, what was your favorite from the Omnivore stuff that you got?
I really liked
Francois Hardy.
I like Francois Hardy. I have all that music on the separate records, so I don't need all the songs. But that's a double greatest hits.
Francois Hardy.
Francois Hardy.
My friend Brad put that out.
You saw that in my Instagram. That's the one. That's the Instagram. It's a double.
Is that one?
I have it here.
It's good. It's good.
Yeah.
It's
for me. First off, she's in the movie that got me. I'm going to tie this back to Formula One. She's in the movie Grand Prix. That's the movie that fucked me up. And now I've been a car, motorcycle, and especially Formula One racing guy my whole life is because of that movie. And she is amazing in that movie. I mean, she's when you're a kid and you see her, it's over.
The monk is great. Yeah, but Francois Hardy, I love it. Now it's a double record. I'm sure it's a digital cut, but it sounds really good. I have to. Light in the Attic did all the individual records about 10, 15 years ago, and they're excellent. And so this was a greatest hits. It's if you don't want to get all of them, which are kind of hard to get now, not horribly hard, but this is a great one. You should grab it. It's really good. I love that yee pop stuff.
I showed you that one. I mean, I love that.
But you know what? I like from Omnivore. Now this is not for everybody, but if some of you rock and rollers and Elvis fans are out here, the Doc Pomus demos. Doc Pomus wrote Viva Las Vegas, wrote all these great songs for Elvis. He wrote songs for the Drifters. He wrote great fucking songs, and it's demos of Doc Pomus and his people doing these songs in the early 60s.
I have them. By the way, there's I'm going to do a shootout or a comparison tomorrow video.
I want that.
BABY.
The other records that come out Record Store Day from Omnivore is the Rembrandt's album.
I haven't listened to that yet.
That has I'll Be There For You from Friends.
Doesn't have the theme from Friends. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
theme from Friends. Then they did a second disc with extra stuff.
Yeah, that's one of those bands I'll listen to, and I'm not a
Here's the Doc Pomus.
That's good. I mean, if you're into like 60s rock and roll, post doo-wop, Drifters, Elvis stuff, a lot of the movies, the stuff from the movies. That's
cool.
It's a double album. It's cool. It's really good.
Yeah.
Good.
Then here's the Francois Hardy double record.
Yeah,
great cover.
I gotta get that.
Oh, damn.
I used to have hair like that. I had hair like
then
that.
These are just records they have coming out. Oh, where's the best one? Is that Roy Clark Live? Did you get that?
I didn't get the Roy Clark. I get to get the what do you call it?
I think because the Roy Clark just came out.
That's why I got it. Yeah.
That Roy Clark is, I don't know where I put it. That thing is freaking awesome.
He's sick. He is an amazing, amazing guitar player.
So it's one of the earliest live recordings of them in Richmond, Virginia in '64. I did a post on Instagram. Let me just pull up the cover. And it really is very good. I would not be labeled like a Roy Clark fan, although all the Roy Clark I have is Omnivore has a relationship with the estate. They've been issuing all the stuff. In fact, last year, they put out
Country Gentlemen Regrets or something.
They put out 3 LP greatest hits of Roy Clark. That's great.
I'm not sure what he played, but Mike Gurley, the daughter guitar player, saw him live, and he said he broke a string during a solo, pulled the string off. They handed him a new string. while the solo was going, the guy restrung the string and kept playing. It was like a total showstopper kind of thing.
That's pretty good. You know, the quality is not as good as the live in
Owens,
Carnegie
Roy
Hall,
Clark.
but it's good.
I might have misspoke, but I'm not all there right now. Then they
What's that?
put out, this was like a power pop band from the early 2000s, Cesar.
I don't know.
Apparently very popular, and Stephen Schnee tells me, like the lead singer here, did a great solo album.
Cool.
And then Nellie McKay, who in the early 2000s was kind of like the anti-Britney. She was like singer-songwriter that people were freaking out about. So they have a couple of her albums.
That's cool.
Yeah. Really cool. Nice. Oh,
It's gonna be a long day.
Here's another record I picked up today, and I listened to it, and it's really good. Does anyone know Paul Jeffrey?
No. I always get suspicious of people with two first names.
So he played with Monk in the 70s, I guess, after Charlie Rouse stopped playing with them. But he played with a lot of guys like this. But look at this lineup. So I knew Monk's son, Thelonious Monk Jr., who I think he's a drummer. So he's drumming on here. You got George Gable.
Clark. That's Stanley Clark?
Stanley Clark. Yeah, that's Stanley Clark. You got Hemmett Bluette, and then you got Wilbur Wares on here too.
Don't forget George Cables, bro. What the fuck?
Yeah, I said George Cables, but there they all are. This is a really good record.
Cool.
I like these milestone records, but it's killer. This is good.
Right on.
You know, this is the label. You know what famous person's grandfather in this label or the family does? Is Judd Apatow.
Okay. Who's a big Warren Zevon fan.
Is it time to take your medicine, Mazzy? What's going on?
Judd Apatow did that Enjoy Every Sandwich, that comp that came out, Records for Day One of Warren Zevon years ago.
Well, he needs to do a documentary about that label. He makes pretty good documentaries. No, I meant so on the album Don Rich is like Roy Clark's right. I mean, but they're great live. They have great banter. In fact, on that album, Mazzy,
they do a little. There's a period.
There's a Beatles
too much
connection.
shtick. It's a little comedy shtick thing.
But they do a Beatles connection. They do Twist and Shout on it. Really good version of Twist and Shout.
And they actually, apparently, they talk about it in the liner notes. At that point, they come out with Beatle wigs when they do Twist and Shout, which is kind of kitschy.
Yeah. Well, Act Naturally's on it. It's just all a lot of good hits. It's good.
Well, that was his song that the Beatles covered.
Jeff Meyer, I think T.S. Monk is Thelonious Monk Jr.
The Beatles turned me on to country music.
Yes.
You know, Act Naturally, even their own songs. I Don't Want to Spoil the Party. Yeah. That's a country song.
Well, I'll tell you something. Those Rembrandt guys, I don't think really have to work because of that song. Whatever they get from it.
A friend of mine tours is like one of their extra, or was one of their extra guitar players live, and he loved it. Danny Wilde was on Geffen Records when I was there.
So that from friends.
I remember when they came out, their first album, I bought it, and it's a good album. It's a good power pop album.
Hot for a minute there. They were definitely a band people were talking about.
Before the Friends song, they had a song called "That's Just the Way It Is, Baby."
Yes. That's right.
I got to listen to that. I've never listened to one of their records, so I got that copy. I could listen to.
It was in LA. People were talking about it in LA. Kind of.
What's with the negativity, Jeff Myers? Jeffrey Bonnet knows they were another band called The Quick.
Hey, I retired, Jeff. Or sort of.
Yeah, but for a guy who's retired, he won't shut up.
Yeah.
Hey, guys, so my plan was to end it so I could watch Saturday Night Live. So I guess I'll just watch.
You can watch the rerun.
Everything streams. And I got to imagine it's Jack Black. It'll be good. But he hosted 18 years ago. He hasn't hosted since.
Is he the musical guest too?
No. Musical guest is... Who is the music? Elton John and Brandy Carlisle.
Oh, you know, it's funny. As much as I love Elton John and I kind of like Brandy Carlisle, to me, that's a snooze fest.
I heard like that stuff about the making of that record that I'm not even just trying to be weird here, that I won't divulge on this stream because it was
they
like,
show the clip where
interesting.
Elton's getting all upset at the producer, but
no, it's not that kind of shit. It's not that kind of shit.
Okay,
It's
it's
other
that
kind of shit.
it's that producer, that total Andrew, what's
Yeah.
his name? The
Yeah,
hot
yeah.
thing that squashed the Rolling Stones, squashed
Right.
Pearl Jam. He's
Right.
working with McCartney now. It's like that squashness of dynamics. Now he's a talented guy. I don't know the guy, and he plays guitar, and
he did a good job on the Stones record.
He's a producer du jour, but the way those records sound there's no soul and dynamics to them.
Who are you talking about, Mazzy? I wasn't paying attention.
Andrew Watt.
Oh, yeah.
He produced the new Pearl Jam, the last Rolling Stones. I think he's working with McCartney. Apparently, I didn't realize he did this. Brandy Carl, Elton John. He's the guy, and he plays guitar.
Yeah.
There's a whole interview. I actually watched the interview with him on Howard Stern on YouTube, and he's an interesting guy, and he's in awe when McCartney was playing something and everything. But like the way those records sound are so fucking pushed.
Mm-hmm.
I don't mind like loud records. Okay. Someone asked me earlier about what I thought of the new Impex Hurdy-Gurdy Man. It's excellent. But I say the original version is a hotter cut, which is sometimes good and sometimes not so good. It's like, remember 2 years ago or a year ago?
Well, don't be wishy-washy. Is it good or is it not?
It's the new one's excellent. But remember a year ago when television came out and Kevin Gray kind of
the way the artist intended it, Mazzy.
Exactly. Now I love the original, but I like the Kevin Gray one more because it sounds better on my rig right now, and it's a little rolled off the high end, not as screechy. Same with the Donovan is like that, but it's great. There's probably a hotter cut on the original Epic, which I have. I'm taking off the mono Sundays because it has to be a stereo record.
Mazzy, someone's holding a gun to your head. Which version do you choose?
The way Mazzy sounds, there's no solar dynamics to him.
Mazzy, someone's holding a gun to your head. Which one do you choose?
The original. However, well, I don't know. I really enjoyed more this time in the shootout. I enjoyed more the Impex. So they're different. They're different.
Hey, cat.
They're
What's
different.
the cat's name?
This is Beeb.
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 Pretty nice.
Beeb.
It's a bingo. It's a full-blooded bingo.
Hey, Mike, Notes and Tone. Mike, did you buy Jazz Shit Brooks a drink at all while you were in Knoxville?
I would have a drink with Notes and Tones. We need to bond on the wine thing.
He's a good guy. I mean, he hates me now, but he's a good guy.
Well, everyone hates you.
They hate me after
he's a good guy too.
He's a great guy.
Goes with the flow.
But Joey and Mike are big wine guys.
Big.
Well, if anyone wants a lot of wine, they just have to rewind the stream and listen to Mazzy talk.
Yes. Oh,
all right.
I'm taking off.
Yeah, let people enjoy the rest of your weekend, everybody. Bobby Gass, what are you doing up? Isn't it late for you?
Yes.
Thanks for dropping by. Sorry you guys came late. You go watch it. It's 2 hours for 2 hours. Okay. Take care, everyone. See ya.